Well, hey, CW.
Hello, Rita Wild.
How you doing, bud?
It's a great day. It's a beautiful day. Not too hot, not too cool. Getting near the end of summer. I am me, and we are all together.
Excellent. Well, we're back together again with JY, James Young of Styx, known for his fantastic guitar playing, his deep voice, the snowblind voice, Miss America, and written some great songs. He's returning to talk with us about the new Styx album, Crash of the Crown. I don't know about you, but this album I really liked a lot. When an album starts repeating in your head, just on playback, then you kind of know that, oh, it kind of stuck. I kind of like that. That's pretty good. The album was released in July of this year, and this is one of the first interviews the band has done with it. Although the songs were written in 2019, the album explores the life and times. God,
does it?
that we, the people, have been experiencing over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And still reverberating.
The album highlights the key elements that give Styx their signature sound. JY was kind enough to speak with us during one of his touring breaks. He had a couple days, and he was from his home in Chicago. So get ready now for our interview with the one and only James JY Young of Styx.
Hi, JY.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing all right. Hey, doing all right. Okay, well, here we are. It's a rock and roll confessional, and we are joined now by one of the perennial guitarists and vocalists for classic rock for Styx, James Young, who is not only a great musician, a great person, and also happens to be a friend of ours. And JY, so nice of you to join us.
Lovely, Rita, on the air.
Yeah, on the air.
May I inquire discreetly?
The last time we saw you was at the Grove Theater. It was right after the NAMM convention. You Styx had a show, and it was like, all is great in the world. We just saw Styx. It's great. Everything's awesome. And then about 5 or 6 weeks later, the world just turned upside down.
Well, history repeats itself, unfortunately, but I don't know, one foot in front of the other, and survival is priority one. And I've always been, I'd probably do more medical reading than any musician I know anyway. And so my immune system was strong before this happened. Then my better half insisted we both get the vaccine. So we got the Moderna, which is good against Delta, at least initially. And so I don't know, we're good.
So what did you do during that time? You had like about a year off or so?
I was a very lazy musician. I didn't really even touch my guitar. While Tommy Shaw and his collaborative writer, Will Evankovich, who ultimately produced our new album, The Crash of the Crown, those guys were busy writing, and Lawrence Gowan jumped in with them. And ultimately we have a new record. No great thanks to me, although I did play guitar on there and I did sing on there, but the writing is those three guys.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at that because throughout the history of Styx, you always contribute something, not just your guitar, but lyrically to a record. And this one, I was surprised that you didn't.
I've done some reasonably good work over the 4 decades of this band.
Oh, God, yeah.
Absolutely.
And actually 5 decades. Signed our first recording contract, 2/22/72. So next February 22nd will be 50 years Styx has been a recording act.
Wow.
And I've contributed greatly to all that. So I guess I missed the boat on this one, but I'm still on there. And I'm the guy that's played every show except for 2. So
that's right. You're like lone.
Nobody else can say that.
The lone original member.
Yeah.
Left. Yeah. So, but congratulations on this record, Crash of the Crown. It is wonderful. I really like it a lot. It reminded me of, it's very comfortable, it was like reminding me of Styx, but then I also heard influences of Beatles and Pink Floyd and then all sorts of other stuff, even like maybe Hamilton, the musical. It was just very, very good. Really liked it.
Well, we've always been able to capture the classic sound, and I think we just kind of maybe sort of ease off in a couple of different directions than we hadn't before. But it's the big 3-part harmonies and the 2 guitar harmonies, which is sort of was inspired by Freddie Mercury. I'm sorry, by Queen, Brian May, and all those big guitar harmonies. That's become a trademark of ours as well. So
you mentioned earlier how history repeats itself, and it seems like this is kind of the theme of this whole album: is everything that we've been through, not just in the last couple years, but as you say, over and over and over. With politics, viruses, the haves and have-nots, it just constantly continues.
Having been born in 1949, which is right after, the Second World War, and then the world, it seemed like after the atom bomb was dropped, that was going to end all wars. And in one way it has, but in many other ways, there's still differences between this continent and that continent, and this hemisphere and that hemisphere still are there, and the religious differences that exist in the world cause much more conflict than they should, when they're supposed to be all about love. So I think, unfortunately, human nature is human nature, and we wrote an album about it.
Yeah. It touches on all levels, and like CW was saying, it's historical. The one thing about Styx music to me always is it's always been full of hope and optimism. And
yes.
it makes you aware of the darkness, but then you go through that with the belief that everything's going to be okay, and you do get that through this album. Absolutely.
Yeah, we have opened the show with "We Will Not Give In," and the song
"The Fight of Our Lives."
Fight of Our Lives, and that's kind of where we've always been as a band. It's just finally making a song about that. Making every album is a struggle, and changing record labels is a struggle, and losing members is a struggle. But somehow we have persisted, and I don't know, we're very hooked on watching these Reel channels, things about what broke up this band, what broke up that band, and the stories are all very familiar to me and not that different from our experience. And we've just managed to sort of hold it together in one way, shape, or form. And I'd like to think that I'm sort of the foundation that all that has been built on.
True. Now you're back on the road again, and looking at the set list. I mean, the set lists look great. You're incorporating about 5 or 6 songs from the new album. Is there any part of you that wishes you could just do the whole album in its entirety and then do some of the other songs?
Well, we did that with our last album, The Mission, and I know that at somewhere down the line, our management will think that that's a good idea. But I think they felt, people want to hear the familiar at this point in their listening experience, because we've been away from them, remind them of who we are and what they love about us. And then, spoon feed them the new stuff. And we'll eventually get to that point that you suggested, is we will do an evening of The Crash of the Crown. Yeah. I think that's 6 months or a year away.
When I was listening to it, I kept picturing you guys on Broadway, like performing this as this giant musical, because it all flowed together so well and it told a story.
Well, I think we're capable of that, and certainly we love playing theaters in the New York area. There's a charm. I mean, arenas are fantastic. Outside in the sheds with 10, 20,000 people is fantastic. Playing an intimate small theater of 1,800 people is just, there's a different sense. I love each of those environments to perform in. And as I said, we did The Mission in that, and we actually owe some cities a Mission show from our last record. But I think that Tommy Shaw's already got this in his mind, and our manager's got it in his mind, that we'll go in and we'll do this, because there's a certain element of this band that, is the theaters where it kind of, we started in small theaters. I mean, we started even in high school gyms, if you really want to go back to the Wayback Machine.
Right.
And then playing block parties even. We started with anybody that would have us, we would play.
Of course.
But now it's fun to be able to sort of pick a venue and create maybe different visuals for that particular venue and that particular performance, and to do an album in its entirety. There's a people love the Mission show, and I'm sure we'll fulfill those commitments to do the Mission shows that we didn't do, and then that somewhere down the line, Crash of the Crown.
But it's right. It's like mix it in a little bit, which is fortunate that you have those certain songs that you can mix in with all the hits, like Fooling Yourself and Grand Illusion and Rockin' Paradise and some awesome stuff. I love the sequences and some of the songs I absolutely love, like Reveries. I love that. The one that you're featured on pretty prominently, Crash of the Crown. That's the three vocalists on that. You're that rich deep voice. Yeah.
Right at the beginning.
I mean, it's me doing David Bowie, basically.
Okay.
Cat people see these eyes so green, I can stare for 1,000 years. Don't be still with me. You wouldn't believe what I've been through. It's been so long for you and me, Rita.
Very good.
Been so long. No, I like that Bowie voice, and it's the Snowblind voice, the mirror, mirror, and people know it mostly from that. But it's different than you don't hear the Screaming Mimes use that voice ever, and it just shows the range, the incredible range of this band
that Styx really has. And I'm just so reminded of it so often is your fan base. My God, you have fans that just are diehard fans that just will follow you and go see all the shows that they can. That's going to mean something very, very special to you.
It is humbling. It is invigorating. I mean, I've always been a confident individual. I was given certain gifts. My father was a great by ear pianist. He couldn't, but my aunt was a church organist. She could read music, and my dad, no, but play him sing him a tune or let him hear something, and he could sit there and make it work just by hearing it. And I've been given partially that gift anyway. So I don't know. This is just something that is in my genes. Runs in my family, and I don't know. There's such a joy in it, and the problems of the world will not upset you. Was one of the lines in the song that I delivered. I didn't write it, but I mean, I think that's kind of, I think that's what we want our music to do, is to take people away from their problems and find the joy in that moment. And hopefully through finding the joy in that moment, find some other bigger joy that gets them through the next year or two.
We all needed it.
Yeah.
Another plus that you have, JY, is your memory. And I was listening to the interview we did with you a couple years ago, and you just kept spouting off these tour dates and concert dates. And you're like, yeah, August 29th, 1974, we played here. And I'm like, how the hell? Like, I can barely remember the 70s. And you're remembering exact dates that you played and where you played. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Well, recently, I've been having a little more difficulty being as precise in my memories. And in fact, going back to, when did this member leave? And I'm digging through my files. 20, maybe 30 years ago, I sat and wrote down the history of Styx going back from beginning to a point somewhere in the 1980s. And I was digging through that the other day. But the steel trap brain is, I think, has been overloaded with too much from too many other places. And and I think those months off, just 2 days ago, I started to feel like it's all back there again. But don't quiz me now.
Okay.
Because it isn't all back there yet, but I have confidence about it.
You're fortunate that's coming back, and some of us, it's like we're still stuck in the brain fog of what COVID-19. I mean, geez.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's like every day. What's my motivation? Okay, very good, very good. We got this.
Save Us From Ourselves, which is a wonderful song. And I wanted to actually read some of the lyrics.
Please.
One of the things I also love was there are snippets of Winston Churchill in the song. It goes, "It was the same day and another time. I felt your pain and you felt mine. And all we tried and all of our tricks still couldn't help what couldn't be fixed. Who's going to save us from ourselves this time?"
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it really hit home from where this world is. And I know you didn't write it, but you're still a huge part of all of this. But I was wondering also about that, but also about the Winston Churchill and how that came about, if you know.
I don't know, but I think it's genius on the part of my colleagues, because that voice is just that outdoes my snowblind voice. That's for sure. Because that comes from a point in time that none of us really experienced, but we know from historically speaking, that was like a crucial moment in the evolution of the human race, what went on in his time. So, save us from ourselves. I think when I look around, I mean, I have shut off the television for the most part, television news in particular. Mm-hmm. There's still good, entertainment programming and movies and whatever. We're bombarded with so much negativity. And how do you sit there and absorb that and not, or get bombarded with it and not absorb some of it? And so I said, I don't need this. I know how bad the world can be. I've seen it firsthand in some things in my family. I've seen it firsthand, some things in my bandmates, firsthand in the news for years. And so I think it's human nature, and we do need to be saved from ourselves.
It's kind of ironic too, with
Sorry.
Everything that no kidding. I mean, time really is ticking away. It's I don't know, climate deniers and all these people. How can they not see what is happening? I mean, with looking at what's going on in Louisiana today with hurricanes and the fires here, it's like something's up, and really, I think it's up to the young generation, and they totally get it. They totally understand that they need to do something, but it's time that, the lawyers and the lawmakers do something about it and be quick about it, because we don't have that much time. I mean, that's sad, but true.
Maybe they should change the song to "Not Enough Time on Our Hands." Just an idea, James.
Next time I feel the need to say that, I think I'll just sing that to the melody line you suggested. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. The question I was going to ask before is, you've got all these great things like CW is talking about, the dates of this, the dates of that. Have you ever considered writing a book?
Yes. But I've ultimately decided against it.
And that is because?
Well, I think mystery and wondering, I mean, the truth, sometimes people won't even believe the truth if you tell it.
That's true. And
to sit down and write a book, and as much as you, I was writing a letter to someone in a situation that I'm involved in, not to do, it's a charity thing. And there's all kinds of infighting going on right now. And it took me a week of trying to put something down on my computer, go away from it till the next day until see if I talked to somebody or heard something, and then alter that paragraph and try and make another paragraph. And it's it just is impossible to create order out of this. The world is just, you can't control the future, so you just have to fasten your bleeping seatbelts.
That's true. That's true.
We're strapped in.
Indeed.
God. It's break time. That's all I'm going to sing, because I can't do that.
Okay.
I can't sing anymore. So for those of you that have written reviews, every once in a while we choose one of them to read. And today it's from C. Michael B. CW West and Rita Wild have such great chemistry that no matter who the guest is, they always seem to just click. The guests are always exceptional, and CW and Rita continue to get the most out of each guest. Thank you, C. Michael B. Please take a moment, if you can, write a quick review wherever you listen to this podcast. It only takes a couple minutes, and I know you can do it.
We'd appreciate it.
From the bottom of our hearts, we thank everyone for their continued support, especially those of you that have signed up through Patreon. It's very simple, and a pledge of as little as $1 a month can help with our bills. Please support the podcast by going to patreon.com, Patreon, or through the support tab on our website, rockandrollconfessional.rocks. It only takes a couple minutes and it'll mean the world to us.
We appreciate all of your support.
We really do, everybody. Rita Wild.
Yo.
How about a trivia question, maybe?
How about what was one of the original names that the band was called before Styx?
What they were called before Styx. Okay.
All right, you got it?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. I think you do.
Try to figure it out.
Let's get back to our conversation with JY James Young of Styx right here on the Rock and Roll Confessional. What's it been like going back out on the road after that long year of COVID? I mean, you guys have been doing several shows and you've still got plenty lined up. So what's that like? Are you connecting with the audience and the fact of, yeah, man, that COVID time was just like, oh my God.
For me, I think it took me the longest to kind of get into the rhythm of it because I didn't touch my instrument for the whole time. And I admit I was not 100% when we started, but we had a great show in Woodstock, Illinois, not Woodstock, New York, Woodstock, Illinois, a couple of weeks ago. And there's a middle-aged woman who works in this little grocery store I like to go to. It's kind of private and off the beaten path, she's seen the Who, she's seen the Stones, and she loves Styx. And she saw that show and she saw me shopping in the store, comes up and goes, I saw your show. You guys you blew away the Stones. You blew away the Who. You blew away Kiss. You guys are it. It's kind of like I've seen the Who. I saw them a bunch of times. I saw them July 4th, 1967, 2 weeks after Monterey Pop.
There we go.
I saw Keith Moon.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I saw Townsend. He had a hard time breaking that Stratocaster. I saw them, I saw Hendrix play 5 times. I saw, the people that we really worship in our generation, at least in progressive rock. And for this woman, God bless her, to put us on this pedestal above the Rolling Stones. I mean, they have crappy nights sometimes. The Who I never saw have a bad night, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder and the ear of the beholder. And we have something special here that I'm awed by and humbled by, and that we can make that kind of impression on another person, and that we are placed at the top of her list over those bands is like, I can't ask for any more than that. And so I feel cockadoodle frickin' do. I've set out what we've accomplished what I set out to accomplish, but I love doing it still. I mean, that there's something magical about being up there and seeing looks on people's faces and standing next to Todd Sucherman on the drums, who might be the best drummer on the planet, but he's certainly in the top 100. And then you've got Ricky Phillips, who's played with the Babies, with Bad English, with Coverdale Page. Sister is Spielberg's main producer, Kathleen Kennedy. Their parents were divorced and they married. And so Ricky's seen the film business from the inside. I call him Cool Hand Luke. That's my name for Ricky Phillips. He just looks like a rock star, carries himself like a rock star, doesn't say too much. When he says it, though, you got to listen to him. And then I got Tommy Shaw there, and I got Lawrence Gowan, who is a superstar in his own right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Tommy Shaw, hello. Any stringed instrument, that man can pick it up and play it. The only thing I have over him is I can play piano. And he's not bad on piano, but I'm better. So I'm surrounded by supreme talent, and it's inspiring for me to stand there. And it is one of my greatest joys. Second greatest joy is to be there on that stage next to these guys doing what we do. Yeah. And I want to do it till the day I drop.
Yeah.
And Tommy played banjo on this album, didn't he?
Yeah.
Tommy, any stringed instrument.
God.
I don't care how many strings it's got. That guy can find a way to make a song on it.
So jealous.
And he's just he's a rock star. He's a supreme musical talent, and he's phenomenal. And he's my partner. So
tell us about Will Evankovich.
Will Ivankovich.
Sorry.
Ivankovich is how they pronounce it. Will. I don't know Will well. I know that Tommy met him when he was in Damn Yankees, when he was working with Jack Blades up in the Bay Area, and Nugent, of course. But Will was a Bay Area character that Tommy met through Jack Blades, and they somehow connected. And I don't know the fine details of their meeting, but they just seemed to connect as a writing team. Tommy, I think, helped finance Will move. I mean, Tommy located in Nashville. He'd lived in LA for years and then decided to move back where it was his wife Jeannie was brought up, which is Nashville. She was actually born in Chicago, about a mile away from where I live now. But
wow.
It was the snowstorm of '67 came along, and the mother was so snowed in by herself. I think she was a widow at that point in time. She said, "We're moving south. We're going to Nashville." So she was born here, block a couple miles from me, let's say, and so those guys have relocated in Nashville, and Tommy now relocated Will there with him, and Will is he's a songwriting kind of guy, and he can sing and he can play guitar. There's a million guys out there that have that talent, but he just sort of connected with Tommy. And the more I get to know him, the more I really am fond of him. We made him another member. We made him a member of the band, and
his production is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, and he's done great work in the context of Styx in every aspect. And so we keep sort of finding incredibly strong replacement parts. So that's another reason to just keep going. And he seems to be like a stable married man who's, it's just where he wants to be.
Nice.
Is he touring with you guys?
He's on stage with us, yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that actually happened. I had read something where he said he was the new 7th member, and I'm like, I don't know if I should ask this.
But no, it blends right in and does some great stuff. You and I've talked several times about my love of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in fact, you were the one, I remember we were somewhere in Culver City having lunch, and it's like, oh my God, I'm having lunch with JY of Styx. I'm the luckiest person in the world. And we're talking football, and you asked me if I'd ever seen a game live in Pittsburgh, and no. And then you told me about Renegade, how they do that in the third quarter and stuff like that. So fortunately, I've been back to like several games and experienced that. Oh my God, is that ever such a great feeling? But you guys are doing something new with that and putting out a beer there. Are you going to make it a national beer?
I am sort of very peripherally involved in all that. I gave my okay to it because I didn't see any great harm in it. I don't, alcohol in small quantities to me is a good thing for people. It helps take the edge off this crazy world of ours. And some days you just need that. And whatever you need to get there, I approve of, as long as you're not harming others.
Yeah.
And it's a good, little micro brewery, and it was kind of a fun idea. And our manager's from Pittsburgh. Grew up there, Charlie. And a huge Steelers fan. And then we've become, the darlings of Pittsburgh. And if we go anywhere near Pittsburgh, playing Renegade, and the terrible towels come out, hundreds of miles away from Pittsburgh anyway. And so it's a thing. And it's a thing that just kind of happened. It happened by pure chance, because the guy that plays music at the football stadium is, I expected, I don't know who I would hire if I was a team owner, but he looks like a very average, middle-class individual. And he was trying to figure out what to play next. And it was his wife actually who suggested to play Renegade at the Steelers game. And the crowd all of a sudden went crazy. And the Steelers, who were down a few points near the end of the game, rallied back to win the game. And they started, keep playing that Renegade. Put Renegade on now. They wait for when they need it, and they put it on. And the terrible towels come out, and it's a wacky local tradition that's kind of spread. And in the Steelers of old were really a mighty force. And being from Chicago, we're working class cities. There's steel mills in the Chicagoland area, and Gary, Indiana, certainly, and there's steel mills in Pittsburgh. So it's as you were kindred cities. And the tale of two cities is that the band from Chicago has come up with the Steelers theme song.
Love it. What's the name of the beer?
Mama.
No, I think it's
isn't it Renegade?
I think it may be. We couldn't use Renegade. I think it's Oh Mama beer.
Oh Mama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh Mama.
Not Obama.
That's perfect.
JY, you mentioned next year being the 50th anniversary. What do you guys have planned? You've got to have something planned for a massive tour or something exciting.
Nobody's really talked about it. I'm the only one that kind of, because I'm into the numbers of well, I mean, being, had a lot of advanced math in college, but I've always been kind of a numbers guy. For some reason, I was always good at math, which is helpful. So I just said, just struck me 222, 72, 222, 22, 50 years. I mean, we have to do something special, but I'll leave that up to the party planners.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. How much further is the tour booked, actually? The current one?
I think we have stuff all the way into early next year.
Okay. So, but maybe a big...
So Rock and Cruise, isn't there like February or something, I think?
Well, there's definitely stuff in February, and there's something I can't talk about, but there's another band we may pair up with for quite a long tour. So,
very nice. Very nice. Summertime kind of thing?
Summertime kind of thing.
Perfect.
We have our bonus round questions we'll throw at you real quick. We don't have a prize this time, JY, so apologize in advance, but we'll send you love.
Who's the most interesting rock star you've ever met?
Myself.
Kind of think of it.
JY.
There's a number of personalities I've met in the business, but I mean, rock stars in general, Styx has been a band because I've been married since we started, as most of the guys have been married. And so we're not the kind that were out doing the nightlife, doing the this, the that, and the other thing. Mostly we would be going home to do what a man and wife do, or what a family does. And in Chicago, I mean, we weren't really exposed. We all kind of live in the periphery. We don't live in the downtown area, except for Chuck Panazzo. And I met a lot of interesting people, but I haven't been thinking about them lately. And I think I could be more excited about meeting. I mean, we've had a chance to, go to NASA and see a bunch of stuff there. For me, the coolest person I met, I've got kind of in the background here. Do you see that pink thing back there with the Styx Paradise Theater album on it behind me?
Yes.
That's the cowl from Shirley Muldowney's Dragster, 1981. She had Paradise Theater on it, and that's the first time she won the Top Fuel Points Championship.
Oh.
And she remains a fan to this day. And I mean, but the sound of two Top Fuel dragsters, forget rock and roll. That is like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Shirley's words were, sounds pretty evil, doesn't it? Yeah. and the first person to call me after the pandemic started out of the clear blue that was unexpected, Shirley Muldowney.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So
love that.
She's so down to earth, and such just a woman who had to battle to make it in the men's world, and showed them all.
That's cool.
God bless her.
Yeah, to be successful on it. Yeah.
And then my one story I like to tell people is that, being a Bears fan, as you can see in my hat here, I had a chance somehow to did I wear the Bears hat? Yeah, I did. Through an attorney that was representing me, he had one of the Bears lesser players back in the '85 Super Bowl days working in his office, and of course we had a huge tour in '83 with the Kilroy Was Here tour, Mr. Roboto, and all that stuff, and we had a giant tour. And right after the next year, the accountant was on our tour, went to the Jackson Family Victory Tour. Mm. So I said, hey, to my friend Brian Bashnagel, who was he played on special team. Then he was a wide receiver. They'd put him in sometimes running plays and this and that. Really great guy with Ohio State. Him and his wife were walking with me, and we're walking through the stands at Comiskey Park, and Walter Payton's walking around.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And so our tour accountant, who played a little bit in Canadian football, just said, hey, you guys want to go back and meet the Jacksons? So inadvertently, I introduced Walter Payton to Michael Jackson. They had never met. I'd never met the Jackson before that. And even though geographically, where I grew up in the South Side, about 20 miles from where they grew up, but it was just like there's, a lot of the brothers' family were fans. So I put Michael Jordan and Walter Payton together, two Chicago area giants. So I guess that's the thing I've been bragging about lately.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome.
It was dumb luck and unplanned, but it happened.
It happened.
Take the credit.
Yeah. I know that you were really into, like, I think rocket science, and that was maybe one of the ways that you were going to go if you didn't go music. I got to ask you about what's going on with Bezos and Virgin. What's his name? Sir
Richard
Branson.
Thank
Branson,
you.
yeah.
See, that's the way my brain works. Somebody says something and then somebody says something. And it's all
Well,
good.
It took three of us to do it.
we're doing the work of three men, Mo, Larry, and Curly.
Right.
There we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Would you have any desire to go up in one of those rockets?
A long time ago, it was I said, before I die, I'm going into outer space. But after I see, how experimental it is, and just the fact of being alone up there by yourself like that, I think would scare the diapers off me.
Yeah.
And it's got to be an amazing feeling. Well, I think there was 2 or 3 of them at each capsule, right? I saw 3 with Bezos, so maybe he was one of 3, but Branson I think was only 2. Those guys. They've done it all. They've seen it all. And I think I still have stuff to do down here. And I used to want to do that. But right now, at age 71, I have no desire whatsoever. I'd rather go to the drag races and blow my ears out.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
With old mama beer.
You got to save the world with this album.
There you go. Yeah, speak the truth, man. Speak
Quickly.
JY Superman.
What band do you regret never seeing live?
Okay, let's see about this. Never saw the Beatles live. Let's see now. Saw a lot of Paul Butterfield. That was a very cool Chicago-based thing. A lot of great players. Who have I seen? Saw Queen a couple of times. Brian May's an acquaintance of our band. Trying to think. Never seen Genesis. I like Genesis, but they were not enough to get me there. Trying to think of who else. Kiss we opened for 100 times. Well, I exaggerate, but we opened a bunch of shows for them, and I'm kind of fond of those guys. Gene Simmons is what a businessman.
Yeah.
And
God.
what a character. God bless him. Hendrix was my idol. I saw him.
Yeah.
Elvis would have been great. My older sister saw Elvis perform, but Elvis was, it wasn't doing much performing by the time I was there.
Yeah.
Bo Diddley and Muddy Waters. I've seen him. Bo Diddley and Willie Dixon.
Ooh.
I've seen both of them perform, and I've become friends with both of their families.
Oh, wow. That's great.
So Bo's daughter, when we play Florida, she comes out, and the old Chess Studios at 2120 South Michigan, where the Stones went to record their first record, that's now Willie Dixon's Blues Heaven Museum. So that still sits in that old Chess Studio building. And I'm a delinquent. His daughter, Jackie, one of his many daughters, Jackie. He only has one daughter named Jackie, but he's got a number of daughters. Jackie and I have become very good friends, and I owe her a call for about 3 months. So I better call her right after this.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. We thank you again. Just a wonderful record. I've already listened to it 3 times, going to listen to it 3 times more, but it gives me hope. It gives me optimism. Can't wait to see you guys on tour. I know that you're playing somewhere in the desert, but I'm going to be out of town at that time. So we'll have to catch you on the backside of that, but would love to see this new material live.
The band is, what that woman said, who works at my local grocery store. We're better than the Who. We're better than the Stones.
Put that on a record. Stamp it.
Well,
really,
it's all in the eye and the ear of the beholder. But it's extremely humbling to me. But I look at my bandmates, and they're all killer musicians. They've all seen the top of the mountain and the bottom of the hills, and we are together collectively. We're hitting them out of the park.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
And thank you so much for taking your time doing this. We really appreciate
thank you, James.
You've always been there for us.
My pleasure.
And for the rock and roll. And we love you. And best of luck with everything. All right.
The feeling is mutual.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Love you,
Take care,
Jim.
All
guys.
right, James.
Thank
Okay,
you again.
Take care. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Rita Wild. That's our good friend, James.
He's such a sweetheart. I just think the world of him. Just
You guys are great pals.
He's
That's
just
really
such
cool.
a down-to-earth person. And that's rare in any profession, I think, but especially in the music business.
Yeah.
And he's never lost that. So I appreciate that.
And it was really cool of him to do the interview, because we went in knowing that he didn't really have anything to do with writing this album, but he was still very kind enough to talk to us about it. So we really appreciate that.
He was in the recording process of it. And of course, They're back out on tour. And they do have a semi sort of local date for people. You can always look on the Styx website to see where they're playing near you. But on Saturday, September 18th, they are playing at Agua Caliente Casino and Resort in Rancho Mirage. Then they'll be swinging back by again in 2022. And
a little bit
he
about
talked
that.
about maybe a big tour next summer.
Yeah, with somebody special. We don't know who.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So thank you to JY, and super special thanks to Terry Gibson for coordinating the interview.
Thank you, Terry G.
Terry.
Appreciate it. The new Styx album, Crash of the Crown, can be streamed, or you can purchase a CD or vinyl copy at styxworld.com. Also, go to our website to check out the show notes. We've got lots of things up there, including samples of the songs from the new album, links to purchase it, and some new videos they've put out. And help us help you. Please follow us on social media. Facebook, Instagram are all the best. Please share and like them. Please pass the podcast to your good friends.
I've been getting a lot of good feedback on all the work that you do on the website, the post of the day and stuff like that, the pictures that you put up, the stories. So thank you for doing that.
Thanks,
people entertained.
Thank you, Rita Wild. All right. Give us the trivia question. Not like it was a complicated one this time. Might be a complicated answer.
It could be. What was the original name for Styx? Do you know?
I did not know this. So lay it out on us.
It's trade winds. Every band goes through a variation of names once they're starting. This player leaves or that player leaves, but trade wins before Styx. And, what can I say, man? They have a tremendous following. So many people love this band. So
absolutely.
Again, thank you for getting us, Mr. JY, to speak.
Thank you, JY, again. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of the tour out there. And everybody that's listening, thank you again for your support. And we'll be back in a few weeks with a new episode.
CW.
Rita.
Be blessed. Be blessed.
I am blessed every day. Thank you. You
be
too.
Blessed,
be blissful.
Be blessed and blessed.
Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good week.